Yeah, okay, they should. Okay, folks. Hey, it's 6 o'clock and we're gonna call this meeting to order on December 17th at 6 PM. We're gonna welcome any and all visitors and welcome any public comments that one may have that are unrelated to any agenda items. Anyone? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. So Scott, we're gonna look to you for possible changes to the agenda.
Yes, let's cancel number 4. And in its place, let's put the Liquor Commission,
Okay,
your renewals for Valley Craft Ale, first and second class, and Art House, first class.
that's really all. And Art House too?
Art House, yes, first class.
All right. That's two. Okay. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to approving the minutes of November 19th and December 3rd, 2024. Everybody here can vote on this, okay?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes
I'll second it.
Okay,
of November 19th and
and December
Tuesday,
3rd.
December 3rd.
All right, Charlie?
I'll second it.
All right, so we have a motion to second to approve the minutes, as submitted of November 14th and December 3rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Keep up,
We got a rush? We got a rush?
Keep up.
Okay. All right, Scott, the action items?
Now, the select board to possibly approve the 2024 errors and omissions from the assessor's office, and Sarah is here to walk you through that.
How many were there?
Sarah?
These the corrections to the grand list?
Yeah.
Yep, 7.
That's seven, okay. Let me just see.
I think it's in your left hand.
Wow. I did not see that.
This is
Moy Sandy. Sandy Moy. Josh Cutler, okay. These aren't any that we saw.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Is there a story or anything?
Sarah?
I put on the bottom there, each number, there's a little write-up about each one. The first two were really just, that the bridge from Proval into Nemrick didn't pull over after grievance. So we had to change those after the bills went out. Number 3 was they were missed for their covenant restricted housing. They get a lower rate on their values, so, that one had to be fixed. This is all obviously after the bills had gone out. Number 4 was her property was unbuildable, and it should have been something that was put in during the reappraisal, and it wasn't. It was old information that wasn't included. Mountain Ridge, number 5, that house was originally assessed as 100% done, and it's only 50% done. So we had to revalue them and send them a revised bill.
Right.
And then 6 and 7, we were actually contacted by the state about these because when we put them in, we did the number that was calculated at the 69% CLA, but because we're a reappraisal town, we were supposed to be at 100%. And those are values that are given to us from the state. So that's why they contacted us saying we had used the wrong numbers.
I have a question about number 7. Where are the physical locations of that item? Green Mountain Power Corp.
Right on here, behind the clouds.
So it's not necessarily physical locations. I don't think it's more about their distribution because they're utilities.
Okay.
That wasn't an answer. I know
No.
that, right? Jesus,
She
come
knew.
on.
She knew.
Yeah,
It's more money.
that's
Yeah,
what it is.
where-
More money.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. All right, with that in mind, folks, this is something we do every year, by the way, that we to approve the 2024 errors and omissions from the assessor's office. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve the errors and omissions from the assessor's office.
All right, we have a second.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2024 errors and omissions from the assessor's office. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. I move that we go into the liquor commission.
Tom, I just need your signature on that.
I think I already signed it, didn't I? Oh, I'm gonna sign that too. So. I'm gonna give that to you, Charlie. Thank you. What's this? Well, I'll say it again. We're gonna move to go into the liquor commission. We have a second.
Second.
All right. Go to the liquor commission. And we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
We have two license renewals. One is Valley Craft Ale for first and second class. And the second one is Art House for first class license.
Okay. I'm sure the chief has already cleared these both, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'll move that we renew the class 1 and class 2 licenses at Valley Ales and Art House's first class liquor license for 2024-25. All right.
Second.
So, okay, we have motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All right, I move now that we come out of the liquor commission.
Charlie's got to sign.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna say. Scott?
Under the fire department, the select board to possibly approve the purchase of new radios for the fire department from the equipment capital fund. We have Captain Maynard and Chief Moore here.
Would you please hit the button on the microphone? Jessica can't reach it.
You guys have the quotes in your packet. It's just at the very end.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
So, we're having a lot of radio problems. We've got radios that are anywhere from 18 to 25 years old, and a lot of them aren't working. So we're sending people into buildings with no communications, which is very unsafe. A little hard to call them Mayday when you don't have a radio to call them Mayday if something happens. Been a concern for about a year now, a little over, because the guys have been grabbing radios and they're not charging or they're not working. They've been in for repairs. It's time that we upgraded. And with this upgrade, we're gonna do dual band radios for the mobile radios in the trucks and dual band for each officer. This way that we can communicate with the police department as well, where we work so much together these days that we can't communicate with each other because we're on different bands. So it's a little more expensive to do dual band, but as far as emergency management, things like that, we do have to communicate all the time and on accident fire scenes. So that's what brings the price up a little bit. Bobby's put a lot of work into this, Captain Maynard has. He's our radio guy. So got any questions, ask him.
So
How long is the warranty on new ones, you know?
I believe it's 3 years.
Is it?
5 years. We also did do another quote that, as a correspondent with Jessica last week, we did receive it. We might receive it tomorrow. For another manufacturer that's probably going to be 30% higher.
So you're comfortable with these type of questions?
I want to have one more discussion with Scott and everybody about it, but yes.
You want to talk a little bit about pursuing grants?
Yeah, so we did pursue a grant last year in conjunction with the police department through the Department of Homeland Security. We were denied that. The other granting grant funds that we found are not applicable to radios such as the assistant to firefighter. I shouldn't say the assistant to firefighter grant isn't applicable to it. It's the federal government applies priorities to certain equipment. For instance, in that particular one, the mobile radios, I think, is a low priority, or was a medium priority, and we need all of them to work together. So it's not worth us even trying to get them because we're get denied. In addition to that, we're already going to submit another grant for our self-contained breathing apparatus, which is a higher priority. We have a greater chance of getting that and radios. Okay. We just haven't been able to find any other opportunities to try and ask for this.
Well, this is coming out of your equipment fund anyway.
Yes, it is.
That just made sure the next fire truck will be just a little bit less.
Sure.
Two tires less.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Do you have an idea on how much you've spent in repairs on the current radios in the last year or 2 years?
I'd have to go back and see, Charlie.
And quite honestly, Charlie, we haven't repaired some of them because we know they can't be repaired because they're 18 to 25 years old. They just simply don't make parts, so you can't
Yeah.
repair them.
So out of your current inventory of radios, how many are unfunctional?
7 or 8 probably,
Out of how many?
20. And it's tough, we need so many because each routing position has to have one. We can't pick and choose who gets a radio. So each seat in the truck has to have one. You never know what someone's task is.
Well, this is a safety concern, obviously. It's a big safety concern.
What's the typical life of radios? Maybe you could just give a quick summary of what we're actually buying and then what do you anticipate the typical life? I mean, in my experience, these are way too old.
Yeah, they are way too old. A lot of it's based on our use or lack of our use. We can get by, if you're using them every day, like some of these big city departments are, they're going to get beat. Your stuff usually lasts longer just because of the use or lack thereof. Of course, we're in the technological age, so before radios were easily repaired because you're using reeds and other stuff. But now, these are basically little computers inside a hard case that you never know when technology is going to arrive. Let's hope that it doesn't. These types of radios have been out there for 6-8 years, and when I say more computer age radios, and obviously the manufacturers make changes as things progress, and heard much bad stuff.
I mean, what do you anticipate the life of these are going to be for you?
Unless technology rapidly changes, I would think we could get at least.
Can you just give a summary of what we're buying? You don't have to go through line.
Purchasing 5 mobile radios, which would go in each apparatus. Those are 100-watt mobiles that would allow us to communicate from actually the truck. 5 framed one rescue brush truck, and a total of 25 portable radios. 7 would go to the designated to the officers, and the remaining 18 would go to the riding positions. 18 seated positions would be designated to those riding positions. So everybody has.
What happens to the old radios?
We might be able to use some of the ones that are still functional if something happens to one against them happens, and say we need to get the police portable or doctors, the town manager during an incident, or we could potentially repurpose them. There's not a lot of market out there for selling.
Well, you never know with the auctions these
Yeah.
days, the things that they buy.
So the old radios can be tied into the new system if needed?
Correct. The big thing, it would give us interoperability with a lot of people who don't have right now, most notably the police department. Because they're on different things.
Is it police and highway or police?
Police.
We got another way.
Okay. Yep.
No, John doesn't. So let's make a motion. Somebody make a motion.
I I just had one question. Is this motion gonna be for the total 130,000?
Yeah, the total comes up 129. We were just discussing not knowing what's out there that it might be worthy to add a couple thousand more just to, I don't know what's gonna happen when,
Could be shipping problems, could be, you know.
I don't think it's gonna exceed that,
If it does, you'll be back?
the supplier has told us it shouldn't be more than that.
So I make a motion that we approve $129,064.29. Buy new radios.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
All right, so we have motion to approve the purchase of new radios for the fire department. And some money is going to come out of the capital equipment fund. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Hi.
Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Scott, you didn't happen to write anything for me today, did you? We had a little chat.
Tom's microphone has disappeared.
Tom, I think your mic died, and can we check the center mic too? Because I couldn't hear Bobby talking. And then can someone also repeat the amount that was just approved?
$129,064.29, I believe.
They're all showing red here.
Tom just had zero noise, and I couldn't hear anything Bobby was saying.
Can you hear anything I'm saying now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay,
Stop
Can you hear
talking.
Jess?
How's that?
just. yeah,
Jess, can you
Scott,
hear me?
I've been able to hear you every time you talk. I couldn't hear anything Bobby said.
He may
Charlie's
have been too
fine,
far away.
Jamie's fine.
Bobby wasn't interested. How's that? Mark Willard,
You can leave
the
it.
conversation we had last Saturday night, remember? Just keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind. Okay. Even if it's an outline, just give me the outline. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Who, senior? Oh. Okay. Well, his dad was, his dad was big in the fire department. Huge.
Ready? Next up is the East Main Sidewalk, a 1% request. The select board to possibly approve $53,300
We still at this?
in a grant match funds for the
Please
East
turn on
Main
your radio.
Street Sidewalk
Thank you.
project. Yeah, you're going to read it, is my point. You have it?
Yes, so this is our third grant that we're going after. The project's we've been working on since August of 2018. Or I'm sorry, not 2018. 8 years. It's been making. We finally got the poles, the utility poles moved this year. And we're still waiting on the vendors to move the poles to, or move the
Excuse me,
lines.
Gretchen, could you move the mic a little closer, please?
Wow. How's
There,
that?
that's much
That's
better.
better? Okay. Feel like I'm on top of it. So we're waiting on the vendors to move their lines to the new poles, and then the old poles will be removed. We are hopeful that will happen over the winter months, and we need more funding, obviously. And I gave you a synopsis of that. I don't know if you wanted me to go through that whole piece. And let's see. You know what, Scott? Maybe I don't have that. I thought I had the resolution.
Would you like the resolution?
I think I do. So we're going after another transportation alternatives grant through VTrans. And that is due on the 31st of December. And so I'm asking for $53,300. But
That's the match. That's the match that they want from us.
that would be the match for this, yeah. So would you like me to read the resolution?
Yes, please.
Whereas the town of Wilmington, Vermont, is participating in a collaborative effort to improve transportation facilities and other aspects within our downtown. And whereas the Vermont Agency of Transportation has invited applicants under the 2025 VTrans Transportation Alternative Program, the goals of which are highly compatible with our downtown transportation efforts. Now, therefore, be it resolved as follows, that this select board endorse and design a construction application under the Vermont Transportation Alternatives Program for improvements to the transportation facilities on the north side of East Main Street from 24 to 88 East Main Street, specifically 2 additional crosswalks, associated curb and sidewalk construction. And 2, the Wilmington Select Board will provide future maintenance on the sidewalk and crosswalks as needed. The sidewalks are plowed and sanded in the winter. 3, the Wilmington Select Board approves $53,300 of local match through the Wilmington 1% local option tax fund. And 4, that Gretchen Haverluck is hereby authorized to be the contact person and as such to provide on behalf of the applicant all documents and information necessary for the completion of said application. And 5, that all correspondence related to said application should be made to Gretchen Haverluck, Economic Development Specialist, Town of Wilmington, P.O. Box 217, Wilmington, Vermont, 05363, G. Haverluck at Wilmington, Vermont, or wilmingtonbt.us. 6, that this project shall be referred to as the Wilmington East Main Street North Side Project. Past the 17th day of December 2024.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm
how soon
sorry, I
you
do
think-
have a question. What part of the budget does this come out of?
This is 1%.
1%.
This is one-
It's a 1%
just
request.
checking on that, that's what I was asking.
Yep.
Thank you.
So I had filled out
It does say that on the top of it.
this form.
So when all the money is in place, if we're going to get the grant or whatever, when do we get started in these things?
Hopefully this spring,
Okay.
that
So
we'll be able to get.
the right of ways, everything are clear at this point? I know there's been a lot of change. That's why.
There's
I'm not
one
gonna go, oh my
I know.
God.
So, and we just had to change it again because one of the property owners changed their name and we had to do a new easement because the state didn't approve it.
Are they
And
gonna get
I'm-
married or something? Something
now-
foolish like that?
yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm down to one more easement that I need that was told to me it was okay. And it is not okay by the state. So,
It's like herding cats down there, isn't it?
yes. And so once we're over this hurdle, we will be able to put it out for a construction RFP.
So all of the others you're gonna get in writing, correct? So that you don't have to continually go through this. This has been an amazing situation.
Oh, poor Therese, I have recorded these probably all of them.
Oh, I know.
2
Oh, no,
times
no.
over.
We've had this conversation many times here.
Yeah.
And it just keeps changing down there, East
Yeah.
Main Street. You wouldn't
Yeah.
think that, but that's the case.
But there's been a lot of,
Yeah.
property transfers
Okay.
in that area. So
So-
I think that.
And we still support the project 100%. So obviously,
Right.
in fact, I'll make the motion.
And just one other thing,
Okay.
Charlie might not know that we had a wastewater asset management done on 3 particular areas in town that have like these private lines. One is down here on West Main Street, like the Vermont House, Incurable Romantic, and Alpenglow. And they have a lot of problems, sometimes backups. There's 2 on East Main Street, one at the lower end that all of those houses on the south side are all connected underneath the houses. So that needs to be, a new line needs to be put in there. And then East Main Street has that same issue. And it's from like 2024 up to the funeral home. That will be changed because currently the funeral home is not on the town sewer. They have their own septic, but they're going to be connected.
Must be a sidewalk professional right now.
Oh, what's under the sidewalk is even
And
much
sewer.
more interesting.
So the-
It's really amazing.
The sewer is an add-on, but necessary to do at the same time.
But there's the
Right.
sewer underneath.
So
and
it's
there's
not-
private lines under, it's ridiculous, the whole.
So
thing. It's
the sewer project, of course, is not funded through the V-Trans grants. That's funded separately. So. And there will be, like the town has to contribute some, but the property owners also have to contribute.
What's the timeline of the entire project?
Hopefully the end of next, probably December of 2025.
3 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2023 here. Anyway, just to move things along, I move to approve 53,300 in matching grant funds for the East Main Sidewalk project with the funds to be extracted from the 1%. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, there you go. John did it.
Okay, it's, all right. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve granting the 53,300 and matching funds for the East Main Street Sidewalk project. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank
Gretchen,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, and we need your signatures on the resolution.
Well, this sidewalk thing, it's just been a nightmare.
We have Warren Main Street that's going also, both sides. And we're probably gonna need more funding for that too.
Hot dog.
I don't even think about.
Oh, you're gonna
Sandwich
what,
shop.
bring the thing right up to the hot dog cart, are you? I know, was that?
Too
Never
soon.
mind, never mind. Scott, Trail Committee, I see Mr. Fisher is here.
Mr. Fisher's in the house. Joanne is here. The select board to possibly approve the trail committee's request for $15,000 for trail maintenance. This is also a 1% request.
That's sort of casual, Bob. Well, we're here on Zoom, asking for the total of 15,000 for our maintenance from the 1% fund. This will go approximately 9,000 for mowing and trail maintenance, 3,000 for signs, maps, printing, those types of materials, and 3,000 for fundraising, advertising, events, and the printing and et cetera that goes along with that. So that's the makeup of the $15,000. Do you want to go into any more of that? Or?
Just to say that the last time a request was made, it was to cover 3 years, and what we didn't think about, probably was it, I don't know how Spencer worked this out before you became chair, but.
Joanne, it's
That's
all
okay. So we've just
here.
Yep, sorry. This is the first time we've asked for a breakout of funding. So in the past, we asked for one lump sum, and what Jessica has pointed out time and again is what that was earmarked for was trail maintenance, and that's it. So meaning mowing, signs, boardwalk, that type of expense. But we do have maps that are due to be reprinted and also updated soon. Also, even Therese Lounsbury's given us some good ideas for events, but we have money to, put on that kind of event promoting. And in fact, advertising, when we had Jake White's memorial, Randy Capitani and I paid for the advertising because we have no money. So this is kind of forward thinking, and I'm not saying that we're going to spend all that money in 1 year. I hope we don't, but we'd like to at least have an allocation so that we can do more things as a trail committee and promoting and advertising the trails.
And fundraising too, correct?
Excuse me?
Fundraising too, correct?
Right, we budgeted for that.
Right. Okay. All right.
But I want to say that fundraising is not in the resolution that, you know, Scott and we and you all signed recently. So, but we're not opposed. We're willing to give it a shot, give it our best effort, truly. And we've been operating with 50% of a committee, meaning we don't have a full, I guess maybe nobody in town has a full complement of volunteers. Every time we lose someone, every time we get someone new, we lose someone.
You do not have to tell us about volunteers. I will
Anyway,
guarantee.
we're doing a lot with a small group.
Come to a chamber meeting, you can hear that, talk about it more.
How many volunteers are you looking for
How many more?
currently?
We have
I was just looking at it,
6.
I thought there were like 4 vacancies.
Right, exactly.
4
And,
vacancies.
And actually, Julie, you know, her term expires next year and she's not active, so we really have 5 open. Exactly.
This is random, but if I could make a suggestion that there should be some way for the public to report when there's damage on a trail. If maybe like print it on the map or something like that. I think a lot of time people come into the chamber to say there's a tree down on the trail or something like that.
There is on the trail committee. part of the-
We're having trouble hearing again.
There is such a link on the website to do that. Educating people about that is another thing, and I agree with you, Charlie, we should do that, because we do get the calls that come in, or somebody will post something to the email, and then we know for a work fee to go out and do that, but that's a good idea.
Anybody have any questions about the 15,000, 1%? Somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve $15,000 for the trail from the 1% local option tax fund, town of Wilmington Trail Committee. Receive the money.
For trail maintenance, okay? And other items, how's that? All right, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, we have motion to second? All those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And farming's going well, is it? Farming's going well, is it?
Please say hi to your wife.
Is it farming or construction? Yeah.
Hey, hey, can I? Town report dedication is next, that is correct.
So Jessica is looking for dedication again? This is an annual chore?
The reason I mentioned something to Scott Moore here at this point, obviously, with the passing of John Barker Willard Senior, who was the one that set up mutual aid. He also set up the junior fire department programs. He did all of that in his tenure as the chief. He was the chief when I first came here. And he came in, he did all the instructions to all the schools, you know, what type of fire extinguishers to use and not to use. And of course, the kids like to use them all, but you know, that was a little bit different. But either way, he ran a very tight ship. He brought a lot of guys along. Most guys will tell you that if they learned under him, they learned it very well. So he did a good thing, and I have to admit that I used to have wonderful conversations with him, but they always seemed to be at CNS. But you know what? By the end of it, we both agreed. We agreed with each other. That's how crazy it used to get. But it was good. Good discussions were very robust. But anyway, that's my suggestion for dedication.
I would support that. I was a fireman. I think I was over when I first got here. Fire department.
It was all business, all business. You ever deal with him at all? You're too young, that's the problem. Yeah.
How did that come?
Mark was that he made a real impact on our fire department. It was huge. It was huge. So does it, what's an agreement, Scott? I'll put that together.
Yeah, just get together with. Yes.
Okay, with Jess and Scott Moore is going to be involved with this also. Scott and I talked about this last Saturday. In fact, I had time. Did anybody else have anyone else that'd like to nominate? I'll be real honest with you folks. I'm running out of people. Okay, guy under the bridge. The guy under the bridge. Huh? No, I would no. You're gonna be dead, and I'm gonna move out of town before I die. Okay. Yeah. But you know, okay. I think we're gonna have to send you down the Shaw's to aisle 3, right? Get a big can of go to hell right there. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't. But we don't have to need a motion for that, Scott.
Not as far as I'm concerned, unless
Okay.
there's an objection.
All right.
Just general consent. That's fine.
All right. John Barkwood. All right, select board comments. Anything,
Nothing.
Tony?
No, thank you,
How
sir.
about you, Joe? Any comments?
No, nope, I have nothing.
Nothing. John?
Nope, nothing.
Wow. Scott, we are going to have the menorah put back in front of town hall, I do believe, this month.
No.
Wait.
Oh,
Memorial. Oh,
Memorial Hall. A town hall, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Hanukkah's late. I think to me, it's late, but it follows,
What's that?
it follows the moon, so it's either the 25th or the 26th.
It starts the 25th, I do believe.
And yes, they've asked, the rabbi has asked again to use the front of Memorial Hall that worked well for them a couple of years ago.
Right.
And, so we will see, out there the 25th or the 26th, yes.
I just want to mention it just in case there's going to be any phone calls. Okay, that's all. All right, very good. Well, if people say anything, obviously it has nothing to do with the faith itself. I know obviously with the politics going on with the Palestinian movement and again, we I think had this before and we didn't have a problem. So I'm not looking at any issues here. Okay.
You ready for me?
Yes, please.
Jess, can you hear me?
She just popped up. She's looking at her phone.
Yeah, but you keep going in and out.
I'm standing right on top of the mic, so
Yeah, I don't think it's a mic thing, but it's not because they're dying. Because everybody's been like slowly fading in and then they're at max volume and then they're going out again.
I'll have notes for you. With respect to the police department, we have a new police officer, Police Officer Richard Levesque, who was appointed to probationary patrol officer yesterday in the morning. And so if you see a new police officer, please say hello to him. We received a final report for our wastewater treatment plant inspection. One of the inspectors is Sherry Caston. She wrote the report and shared it with us on December the 9th with an overall comment to thank John for his diligence with regard to wastewater treatment. Her inspection resulted in acceptable ratings, and we will schedule time for John to give the select board as the sewer commission an overview of that report. And there are a few corrective actions and recommendations. And one of the major ones was in terms of staffing. The inspector made a comment that to her, it is not clear that the town is compliant with conditions regarding maintaining adequate operating staff. And so that's something that John and I will be discussing, and this commission will be discussing. I think I may have mentioned a little prematurely, but Superintendent Dix, who is here tonight, completed his leadership training in December. And he made a capstone presentation that was required for completion of the program. And the capstone was on road surfaces. So the comparable cost to maintain different types of roadways. Bridges and box culverts, we are submitting a grant for the Green Road, which needs repair. We do have a quote, and we anticipate going out to bid, but the last time the number of bidders was small, and we have a reliable vendor who's done some work for us here in town. So we'll be working on that. And that, provided we get the grant, that should be sometime between spring and July, I think. The bridge at Castle Hill is under inspection at Shafter Street. There's some question on repairs for that, or some concern about repairs on the underside. The culverts that we're looking at Old Ark Road, they need to be changed to box culverts, and they will require hydrological engineering study. And so we're looking at, is that a grant for the study, or do we have to pay for that? Oh, okay, there's already a study in place. So that was done, it was done before. And then I think the metal bridge that has remained at Medburyville, GRH, or Great River Hydro, someone from there gave us a call and thought it belonged to us. And Marshall has researched that and said it does not belong to us. It belongs to the state, and it's historical.
Thank God it's not ours, huh?
So
God,
that's the good news, as expensive as everything is. So as you know, the BCA completed their work in December, I believe December, right? Or was it?
Correct, beginning of December.
In December. And there are PVR appeals that have been received. We received at least 2, and those have been sent up to PVNR from the town clerk.
Do you have the names?
I do.
I know Mr. Wilson did from Boyd Hill.
So you have Wilson, and then you have Kaplan.
Kaplan? For vacant land?
I did not stutter.
Jesus Christ.
In terms of receiving phone calls, just so you know, we've been working with a lot of people in the zoning administrator's office and trying to bring them into compliance, which is our first step. Education and bringing folks into compliance. There have been some notice of violations. At first I thought it was 2. There's a few more today. And that's typically because people have been unresponsive. So most of these could be cured relatively easily, either in the zoning administrator's office or through the DRB. And so if you do get some phone calls on that, please resist the urge to do anything. That is in the zoning administrator's office at this point.
So are we going to levy fines on those that there are scoff laws on this, or Scott? Or
So that is so the way it works here is, if you were to ignore the notice of violation, which is basically gives you a certain amount of time, we typically give much more time than is required by statute. We usually give 30 days.
Right.
And usually there's a response mechanism required, by 7 days. But if you're working with a zoning administrator, we will work with you. And the idea is not to go to court, But ultimately, going to court then would invoke the violations that are outlined in the ordinance in terms of each day. We would try to
Okay.
collect for each day of the violation. Since I have been here, and I'm in my 8th year, and since I've been here, we have not taken anyone to court because everybody usually wants to cure these violations. Sometimes we're having difficulty, I think, with second homeowners getting them to respond. But, we're working on it. Just because we sent out a notice of violation does not mean we are done working with people. So the closed municipal landfill and transfer station certification renewals, I just signed. We talked about this before. I just signed with KAS Engineering from Williston. And we've been going back and forth with the engineer with regard to an agreement, which we now have in place, and they will be working on that this winter. This is, I think, a 10-year certification for both the landfill and the transfer station. So that's a requirement by the state. In terms of the legal corner, we have 2 appeals currently, and I believe there might be one more. I don't have it in hand yet, but there's 2 appeals that will be going to Superior Court. One was 140 Elwell Heights, and the other was 43-3 Stearns Way. And currently, the town attorney has been notified, but we're awaiting the docket number from Superior Court.
These are appeals of what?
BCA. Sorry.
So they did not go to the state. They just went right to court.
Yeah, they can choose.
Okay. All
They
right.
can choose which avenue they go on. So these 2 will be going to be Superior Court. Sorry, that was on BCA decisions.
So we have a total of 4 appeals, 2 going to PVR and 2 going to.
I
Superior.
believe there's more. Therese could probably speak to that if she's on.
Expecting one more from George Zeringer for Superior Court.
Of course. I still like the vacant land one, though. That's over the top for me. I know it's being recorded. Jess, don't fret. Don't fret. When everyone gets indicted, I will come back and testify, okay?
Come back.
How old do you think I am? For Christ's
100,
sake?
130. Don't ask you dumb questions.
When God said, "Let there be light," I flipped the switch.
My
Okay.
phone picked up on you, Tom. It did not like that.
Okay. All right.
Started recording you.
Everything else I have for you is for executive session.
Very good. Very good. Anybody else like to say anything before we go into executive session? Don't.
Mingle among yourselves.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
A
Hey,
big
you
thank-
know what? Hey, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, okay?
Yes,
All
Merry
right.
Christmas
Happy holidays.
and happy holidays.
Definitely a big thank you to BCA for all their hard work.
Everybody got it done before the new year.
Yeah.
I'll get the door on the way back.
Tony just stepped out for a minute.
You know what? Maybe we should make motions. There are 3 of us here. We can do this. And so I can do the motions now. So when he closes the door, we're set to go. All right. I move to find that premature general public knowledge would clearly place the town or persons involved at a substantial disadvantage. All right. Charlie, you want to second that?
Second it.
All right. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
All right.
All right. I move to enter an executive session at 6:50 PM to include the town attorney, town manager, Sally Manigan, Hannah Epstein, and Haley Colding for real estate discussions and confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the body of 1 VSA 202A1. Second?
Second it.
All right, motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are now in executive session. All right. Coming out, I'll make the first motion, Scott. Motion by the select board to assign town manager as agent for the select board to pursue grants to possibly acquire the MR Perry Properties LLC, subject to a town match. We have a second.
Second.
Tony has a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote here is 4-1. I'm sorry, 4-0. Okay, you want to do the second one?
Sure.
There you go.
I make a motion to approve the authorizing resolution and consent and legal notice of terms of conveyance of parcels to Lupin Mountain LLC in exchange for $182,500 by quitclaim deed and/or purchase and sale agreement. Need a second?
All right, second. All
Second
right,
it.
good. Charlie make a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 4 in favor.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
We don't have any other matters to discuss here this evening. Is that correct?
No,
John? No?
no, I don't think so.
John's smiling like.
He's ready to go back.
He knows we're done.
Is there
All right.
is there nice skiing out there?
At Snow King there is, but I don't have a pass. I skied hard enough. We've had 3 feet of snow over the past 3 days. It's,
How do you go?
3
Wow.
feet of snow. My God.
What's the temperature?
Are we,
um,
are we adjourned?
No, we
Oh,
have not.
sorry.
had it.
it's 25 degrees.
Oh, it's
Okay,
nice.
all right,
Balmy.
that's all right.
It's gonna be 0 here on Sunday.
All right.
Oh, that's
You
not-
know, it's in the 40s right now. Anyway, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 So we'll-
Happy holidays.
Whoa.
Happy holidays.
We're all gonna get together on Thursday for the budget, remember?
That's right.
That's budget day. That's